often at Night Owl Nation, when we have new members, we feel the pressure to tell the most extraordinary story. And what ends up happening is when I ask people to be vulnerable or something like that, they feel the need to talk about the most tragic thing that happened in their life. Like about, I need to talk about like my child abuse. I need to talk about, my suicide attempts, or I need to talk about like when I got diagnosed with cancer. Like we try to pick the most extreme thing that happened in our life, and we feel the need to anchor our story into there. And the reason why is because that's what we see. We go on TED Talk and we see this TED Talk of this person that talks about how he was homeless or how he was like beaten by his dad and these crazy shit that happened to them. And we see that and we're like, oh, that's what we need to do. So, but often the most amazing stories are gonna be the ordinary stories. How you know you're a great storyteller is if you can take the most mundane, boring shit and turn it into an extraordinary, exciting story. That's how you know you're a great storyteller. And the reason why we keep sharing these ordinary stories, and I'm asking you guys to share them, is because I think through there, once we realize all the vulnerability within these ordinary stories, it inspires other people to want to share stories like that too. What I see people do is, like, one time I was helping this person kind of find their story, and she kept bringing about the time she was diagnosed with cancer. And we kept trying to tie it to a lesson and what she does, but it felt forced. It just didn't seem right. What it turned out is when she actually didn't learn any lesson during that tragic moment in her life. But a few years before that, she had learned a lesson of like just being grateful and all of that, which later on, when she was diagnosed with cancer, it helped her go through that lesson that she learned helped her go through it. But it wasn't the cancer that made her learn this lesson. It was something else. But she was so attached to this moment because it sounds like, oh, got diagnosed with cancer. It sounds so tragic and it sounds like a big story. So she was trying to force the story into this, whereas in the real story was over here. So we have to be very aware of that. Like, am I trying to force this story just because, this event was such a big thing in my life? Or where are the ordinary moments in my life where I learn more significant lessons? And a lot of times it's going to come from the ordinary moments.